Dear students, you have already learnt with the help of certain problems that the maximum deduction available under ATC is 1,50,000. What items are to be considered while computing the qualified amount of deduction under ATC? Let me take up one more problem so as to help you to understand the computation of qualified amount of deduction under ATC. From the following particulars, compute deduction under ATC for the assessment year 2021. Alright, life insurance premium paid on own life. Here in this problem, sum assured is not given. Date of purchase of insurance policy is not given. Therefore, we have to assume that the entire amount is qualified. And moreover, here it is taken on the life of the insurer only, SSE only. Therefore, that is allowed. So, premium paid on the life of the SSE, spouse and children is qualified for deduction. Therefore, here it is taken on own life. Therefore, it is very much allowed. Then, in life insurance premium paid on mother's life. So, only on the lives of self, spouse and children are allowed. Here it is on mother's life. Therefore, it is not allowed. So, first one is allowed, whereas second one is not allowed. Premium paid on the policies taken on the life of mother, brother, sister, father, all these things are not allowed. Contribution to recognized provident fund, this is very much allowed. So, 10,000 is allowed. Contribution to public provident fund, the entire amount is allowed. It can go up to 1,50,000. NSE 8 issue purchased, very much allowed. Interest received on NSE matured, no. So last year interest, that means it is matured and received and it's not reinvested. Therefore, it is not available for deduction under ATC. Next, accrued interest on NSE. Accrued interest is assumed to be reinvested and therefore the entire amount is available for deduction under ATC. Fixed deposit for 5 years in savings bank account, SBI tax savings account. Therefore, entire 25,000 are allowed. Amount deposited in 2 years postal time deposit scheme. So, since it is 2 years, it is not at all allowed. Therefore, 15,000 is not qualified. Contribution to unit linked insurance plan, it is allowed. Deposit in home loan account of National Housing Bank, both principal amount as well as interest are allowed, therefore 28,400. Repayment of housing loan including interest of 10,000, 45,000. Here only the principal amount is allowed under ATC. Interest is considered while computing income from house property, therefore that should be excluded. So 45,000 minus 10,000, so 35,000 rupees are allowed. Thus only two items are disallowed here. One is life insurance premium paid on mother's life and the next one is amount deposited in 2 years postal time deposit scheme. Rest of the items, the amount of rest of the items is fully considered. Just see here. I already explained. See, now the total qualified amount comes to 1,65,050. But the entire amount is not allowed because there is a limit of deduction under ATC. The deduction under ATC is restricted to 1,50,000. So that is the deduction available under ATC. Yes, I think we have solved so many problems, and by now you know what items are qualified and what items are not qualified under ATC, and what is the maximum limit and all those things. Having understood the provision 80C, now we'll move on to the next deduction, 80CCC, that is deduction in respect of pension fund. This section provides for deduction to an individual assessee. Remember, individual assessee, for the amount paid or deposited by him in an annuity plan of LIC of India. Annuity plan here it is the annual payment, annuity plan of LIC of India for receiving pension from the fund set up by LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, or any other insurer from fund set up by the said corporation as approved by the controller of insurance. So it provides for a deduction to an individual assessee the amount paid or deposited by him in an annuity plan of LIC of India for receiving pension from a fund set up by LIC. So the intention is to receive the pension from the fund set up by LIC or any other insurer from a fund set up by said corporation as approved by controller of insurance. Now what is the maximum limit available? Maximum limit is 1,50,000. Example, contribution to Jeevan Suraksha of LIC is qualified for this deduction. Now where the amount is surrendered before maturity, before the policy gets matured for payment, if the policy is surrendered, it becomes taxable. So where the amount surrendered before maturity, the surrender value becomes taxable. Again, the amount received as pension becomes taxable in the year of receipt. The amount received by the assessee or his nominee as pension will be taxable in the hands of assessee or his nominee, as the case may be, in the year of its receipt. For example, after 10 years, let us say, assessee is entitled to get monthly, for example, pension or yearly pension under this scheme. Then whatever is received under annuity, pension received under this fund, that is taxable. So this is the meaning of that. The amount received by the assessee or his nominee as pension will be taxable in the hands of the assessee or his nominee, as the case may be, in the year of its receipts. So this is 80CCC. Now we'll move on to where any amount has been allowed as deduction under 80CCC, no deduction with reference to such amount shall be allowed under section 80C. In other words, either you have to take it under 80CCC or under 80C, but you cannot take in both the places. You cannot take it in both the places. We'll move on to one more deduction, 80CCD. This is in respect of National Pension Scheme, popularly known as NPS. See, after 1/1/2004, those persons who enter the service of central government they have to join National Pension Scheme compulsorily, and they have to contribute 10% of the salary every month towards their pension account. So it is mandatory for persons entering the service of central government on or after 1/1/2004 to contribute 10%. Contribute 10% of the salary every month towards their pension account. Matching contribution is made by the employer. Employee contribution is fully deductible under this section. even a self-employed person may join NPS. So this is not applicable only in the case of salaried employees. Even a self-employed person, non-salaried person may join NPS, National Pension Scheme. Okay. Now let us see the salient features of NPS. Employer's contribution to NPS is taxable as salary. So employer's contribution to NPS is taxable as salary. Then under section 80 CCD subsection 2, contribution is available for employer's contribution to a maximum of 10% of employee's salary. So whatever employer contributes to NPS is entitled for deduction to the extent of 10% of employee's salary. In the case of central government, amount contributed by central government or 14% of employee's salary, whichever is less is deductible. This is in the case of central government, amount contributed by the central government. Means employer is central government. Okay, under 80 CCD1, deduction is available on employee's contribution subject to 10% of salary. And in the case of non-salaried SSC, it is 20% of salary. 20% of gross total income. So this 20% has come into effect for the assessment year 18-19. Before that it was 10% or so. Alright, so in the case of salaried employees, 10% of salary. Whereas in the case of non-salaried employees, 20% of his gross total income. Alright, now there is a section called, under section 80C, 83C and 80CCD subsection 1, the aggregate total income shall not exceed 1,50,000. This is actually as per 80CCE. 80CCE says that total deduction under 80C, 83C and 80CCD subsection 1 in aggregate cannot exceed 1,50,000. If that is the case, if you avail 1,50,000 under 80C, no deduction is available under 80CCC and 80CCD subsection 1. On the other hand, if you utilize 1,50,000 under 80CCC, then you cannot use deduction from 80C and 80CCD subsection 1. And as far as 80CCD1 is concerned, same rule is applicable. If 1,50,000 is allowed to be deducted under 80CCD subsection 1, then whatever savings and investments are made in 80C and 80CCC are not allowed for deduction as per section 80CCE. Under section 80CCD 1B, additional reduction up to rupees 50,000 towards a national pension scheme contributed by an individual is available from the assessment year 2016-17. Alright, now let us move on to one more section, 80CCE. Already you have learned under this section, that is 80CCE, the aggregate amount of deduction cannot exceed 1,50,000. Aggregate means what? In what? Or under what sections? Aggregate amount of deduction under section 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD subsection 1 shall not exceed 1,50,000. Then there is one more section, deduction up to 50,000 under section 80CCD subsection B is an addition to overall limit of 1,50,000 provided under section 80CCE. So this is a social security measure. 1,50,000 deduction is there under 3 sections, but added to that, additional deduction is allowed for any contribution to national pension scheme under section 80 CCD subsection B 1B. Next, amount contributed by the employer in pension scheme, that is under 80 section 80 CCD subsection 2, shall not be included in rupees 1,50,000. Employer's contribution that shall not be included under the maximum limit of 1,50,000. Alright, now you can study with the help of a problem. So during the financial year 1920, Mr. Ram deposited the amount as in the Public Provident Fund 90,000. Entire amount is qualified under 80C. Alright, now pension scheme of central government at 15% of his salary 1,50,000. Actually, contribution to pension scheme of central government, that's allowed under 80CCD. Okay, under subsection 1, maximum 10% contribution is allowed, but here 15% is contributed. If that is the case, what is 10%? So 15% 15 is equal to 1,50,000. 10 is equal to what? In other words, 1,50,000 divided by 15 into 10. That means you will get 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is qualified. And matching contribution was made by the employer. So the separate deduction is allowed if the employer contributes. Compute the deductions available to him from his gross total income. I already explained PPF under 80C 90,000. Already I told you. See here, it is the amount which is here. Then pension scheme under section 80CCE. Alright, so here 80CCD subsection 1, 10% of salary. Actually you have to calculate 10% of salary. So he has contributed 15%, but what is allowed here is 10%. So 15 is equal to 1,50,000. What is 10? So that way you have to calculate 10% of salary. So the salary at 10% is not readily available here. So you have to calculate. So that comes to 1 lakh rupees. So the total qualified amount and 80C, 80CCC and 80CD subsection 1 is 1,90,000. But the maximum amount allowed here is 1,50,000. So though the qualified amount is 1,90,000, what is allowed under 80CCD, under 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD subsection 1. Okay, that is 1,50,000. This is as per section CCE. And then see, employer has contributed, you see, I'm sorry, not an employer. In addition to 1,50,000, employee can contribute to national pension scheme, new national pension scheme, to the extent of 50,000. This is the additional deduction available apart from 1,50,000. So you take it 50,000. Then employer's contribution, for employer's contribution deduction is available under section 80 CCD subsection 2. So this is the one. Okay, the amount contributed by the employer in pension scheme under section 80 CCD shall be, that is allowed. Okay, it is here 80 CCD employees contribution to a maximum of 10%, but in case of government, in case the employer is central government, amount contributed by the central government or 14% of employee's salary, whichever is less is deductible. Alright, so here 1,50,000 here, then additional deduction available under 80 CCD subsection 1B, then employer's contribution under 80 CCD subsection 2, 1 lakh. So together 3 lakh is the amount. Yes, 1,50,000 here and here 1,50,000, totally 3 lakh is the deduction available, deductible amount under the gross total income or from the gross total income. Now we'll study one more section, deduction for investment in any equity savings scheme. The deduction is allowed provided the following conditions are fulfilled. Certain conditions are fulfilled, are to be fulfilled in order to avail this benefit, a deduction under 80 CCG. Now what are those deductions? Let us see. The SSE is an individual with gross total income not exceeding 12 lakh. So gross total income of that individual shall not exceed 12 lakh. Only individual is, this deduction is available only for an individual. The SSE is a new retail investor. So the old investors, this benefit is not available. Only to a new retail investor as may be specified in the scheme. He has acquired listed shares. Listed shares means those shares which are listed in the specified stock exchange, or listed units like mutual fund in accordance with the notified scheme. So example, Rajiv Gandhi Equity Saving Scheme. Next, he is a new retail investor as specified in the above notified scheme. Already it is told he must be a new retail investor. Then lock-in period is 3 years from the date of acquiring the shares or units. If the SSE fails to comply with any condition in any previous year, the deduction allowed shall be deemed to be the income of the SSEs of such previous year and liable to tax. So if the SSE fails to comply with any conditions in any previous year, the deduction allowed shall be deemed to be the income of the SSE of such previous year and liable to tax. What is the amount of deduction? 50% of total investment in such equity shares or units during, or 25,000, whichever is least. Either 50% of total investment in such equity shares or rupees 25,000, whichever is least. Supposing, say 50% of total investment, let us say the investment is 40,000, then 50% of 40,000 is 20,000. 20,000 or 25,000, whichever is least, so 20,000 is allowed here. On the other hand, supposing the investment is 80,000, 50% of that comes to 40,000. 40,000 or ceiling of 25,000, whichever is less, so 25,000. So 25,000 is allowed, whichever is least. The deduction is allowed up to the assessment year 17-18. However, an SSE who claimed deduction in assessment year 2017 and earlier assessment years is allowed deduction till assessment year 1920 if he is otherwise eligible to claim deduction. Okay, by this I have explained these sections, section 80C, 80CCC, then 80CCD. There again you are having so many subsections like 80CCD subsection 1 and 1B. This is additional 50,000 plus 50,000, so 2 lakh. So CCD subsection 1B and employer's contribution CCD subsection 2. So the maximum amount allowed is 1,50,000. I already explained all these things, and we have learned one more section, deduction, and for investment in equity saving schemes, and a section 80 CCG. Already explained this. So thank you for giving a patient listening.